Hello and welcome to version 4.5 of Alphaletz, and we've got a lot of new features and updates to tell you about today, including pro-rated rent payments, more options on the lease and rent scheduler. We can automate emails now. We can add your company logo if, for example, you have a limited company. We have some new tenant pages, some new income and expense pages, and we've made some updates on the mobile app. So let's get to it. So here we are on the property overview screen, and you can see at the top of the page, we're being told that we have some overdue rent. So if I click on the rent scheduler, I can see the list now of the current lease, and I can see that I have one payment that's overdue. But you'll also see now we have a drop down on the top right hand side where I can see all the previous leases that are attached. And I can see on the last lease we still have a payment that was overdue. So if I go into the lease history, here I can see the details. The first lease is complete and paid up to date, but the second lease is showing an overdue payment, which is this one down here. I can click back to the current lease without affecting any previous leases, and I can simply mark this lease or this payment paid with one click. Okay, the next thing to talk about is the enhancements we've made on the leases. So if I go back to our dashboard screen, go to the property, scroll down, let's pick this one here, Apex. We're going to add a new lease. We're going to select a tenant from the drop down here, put in the date that we want this particular lease to start from the 12th, quickly put in the rent amounts, and now what we can do is we can put in a different payment date. So as I change the date, you'll notice that the pro rata amount automatically changes on the right hand side. We can then add in a security deposit, and now we can set up automated emails. So in this example, 45 days before the lease is due to expire, an automatic email will be sent to the tenant. You can do the same thing for rent reminders, like 3 days before the rent is due. You can send a polite email here, or 1 day after the rent, if it hasn't been received, you can send an email as well. It will automatically default to the primary tenant, but you can add in as many other people as you want here in the CC. And it will also blind copy you. If you want to have this down here, you can add yourself in and get blind copied on the email at the same time. Next, I'm just going to save that. So now back on the rent page, you can see that the first payment here is prorated at £645. It's actually due, so I'm just going to mark that paid. And you can see now from the first of the month, the payments will be due at £1,000 a month. We've also improved the income and expense screen. So if I click on here, I can see the income screen and I can see all the income associated to this particular flat. And I can see the amount is 6770, but if I filter on Andrew Peters, for example, I can see that it automatically calculates the rent that we've had from him. If I remove the filter, it goes back to the total amount. Same with expenses. I can see, I can filter by paid or upcoming expenses. If I go back to paid here, I can see that my total paid expenses are 15,000. But if I was to search on something like service charges, for example, I can see that it auto calculates that amount at £4,244. If I remove that, then it'll take me back to the total expenses paid. The mobile app has also come a long way in the last few months with lots of exciting new features as well. And the challenge has always been to try and take a big screen of information and condense it down into a screen that is easy to use and easy to see. And we've managed to capture all the information, as you can see here. You can scroll down, you can see your properties. And again, we've tried to keep the design extremely elegant whilst making it very easy to use. And that covers HMOs, like you can just see here, or single unit properties. You can click on your tenants, and with a quick dial down the bottom, you can see that you can one-touch telephone, text, or WhatsApp them. You have your total tenant list here, and you can see not only your active and prospective tenants as well, but you can also see any arrears right here on the front screen. Here are your suppliers broken down by companies and contacts. And if you scroll across, just like in the web app, you can see your income, expenses, lease history, tasks, and documents. This is something that is relatively new. You can see any document that you put in the web app will sync up to the mobile, just like this, and you can click on it for more information. Okay, so here we are back on the front page, and I'm now going to show you quickly the changes to my profile. So go in here, and now you notice that you can upload your company logo. Not everybody has a company logo, but more and more landlords have a limited company now. So if you wanted to put that in here, you can do. And then it'll be used for your email templates and invoices if you would like to do that. You'll find that in my profile. The other change we've made is if you go into tenants, you see your tenants list here. You can see the arrears, you can see start dates and end dates. But if we pick a particular tenant, you notice that this form has been updated in a much cleaner and crisper new look. I hope you enjoyed that short video on some recent updates, and please remember to subscribe to our channels because that's how we can keep you updated with all the new stuff that we're working on. Thank you very much.